I gained 40 pounds of muscle mass. I did a lot of things wrong on that journey, and I want to share with you exactly what I did so that you can do it better and probably a lot faster. Look, when I graduated high school, I was 130 pounds soaking wet. That's being generous too. Over the course of the next 5 years before I entered grad school, I gained about 50 pounds coming into grad school at about 180 pounds. About 40 pounds of that was lean, clean, strong, juicy muscle mass. Now, there's one big thing that I thought I was doing right that I was doing completely wrong. And once I changed this thing, it really allowed me to open up and focus on what truly mattered. That one thing is focusing on the small stuff. Once I got rid of focusing on the small things, it allowed me to focus on what actually moved the needle to building more muscle mass. You may ask, what are the small things? Well, there's a lot of them. And that's exactly why it was taking up so much time. I was so worried about what supplements I was taking. I was worried about what vitamins and minerals I was getting in. I was worried about when I was eating certain foods, when I was taking my protein shake. And at the end of the day, it didn't really do a whole lot. Now, once I stopped focusing on those things, I started focusing on these three major things that really helped move the needle and start putting muscle mass on in a consistent manner. So, the first thing is making sure that my calorie intake was good. Calories are just the way that we measure energy. And we need energy to go through the process that is building muscle. This is the most influential factor of being able to build good muscle. Obviously, you have to train. I shouldn't have to say that. You got to get in the gym and you got to push yourself to be able to put on muscle mass. That's the stimulus. But after that, if you don't have enough energy to build that, all your body's going to do is restore the energy that it's lost. It doesn't have anything extra to give. And restoring that energy is more important. I usually put it like this. Imagine you're a caveman and you're fighting a saber-toothed tiger. Well, you defeat it. Great job. Proud of you. But then another saber-toothed tiger comes. Would your body rather be focusing on building muscle in between those two battles? Or would it rather be restoring the energy that your body needs to fight off that second threat? That's exactly how your body thinks. And I know it seems ridiculous, but it's true. So it's going to restore the energy, and then that extra energy is going to go towards other processes. Now, your body does want to build muscle mass if you give it the stimulus. You have to tell it, hey, let's build muscle. And once you give it the energy, it wants to go through that process. Eating enough calories doesn't just build muscle, though. We have to consider all the other things that it helps you do. Number one, it helps you have enough energy, just like the physical feeling of energy. Imagine you get home from your workout and you're just gassed. Are you going to go and make a really well-rounded, balanced meal to go eat that stimulates that muscle growth? Probably not. It also will help support your natural testosterone levels. One of the biggest reasons that I see men testosterone dropping over their 20s and 30s is because they're just not fueling themselves correctly. Whether that's because they are running out of time or they think that that's what they need to be more shredded, then they're not consuming enough. But your testosterone needs energy along with it. It's also going to support your strength and your power. So that way, when you go into the gym, you actually get really, really good workouts in. If you can lift a little bit more weight or a little bit more volume, you're feeling good day after day, recovering super well from your workouts, then over time, that's going to accumulate more volume, which will help push that muscle building process forward. The last thing that it helps that nobody ever talks about is your sleep. If you're not eating enough, you will want to wake up. Think back to being a caveman back in your early days. If you weren't eating enough food, what did your body want to go do? It wanted to hunt and gather. You can't do that when you're sleeping. So instead of sleeping, your body wants to wake up and get your ass out the cave and go hunt some woolly mammoths. But if we eat enough, our body says, hey, I'm good, brother. Let's get some rest. Rest is important. Rest helps me build muscle. And that's the second big thing that I started to do is I started to lock in my sleep. Look, I was kind of a wild college kid, and that meant a lot of late nights out. But there became a point where I realized that that was inhibiting my ability to build muscle, to recover, to be ready for that next gym session. And honestly, I ended up enjoying that a lot more. That being said, locking in my habits that led to great sleep was crucial. That first one, calorie intake, was one of them. Along with that, we need to make sure that our habits leading up to bedtime are locked in. So that way, our body can release the natural sleep hormone, what we call melatonin, so that we can fall asleep in a reasonable amount of time and sleep with really, really high quality sleep, meaning we're not waking up through the night, we're not tossing and turning, right? In order to do that, unfortunately, brother, you got to put TikTok. You got to put TikTok away. Put the phone down, do some relaxation before you go to bed. Maybe that's some foam rolling, maybe that's some stretching, maybe that's some meditation. Do something boring as you get into bed. Maybe something like reading a book, a journal, something like that will be a lot more calming for your brain and your body, will allow you to get into those deeper stages of sleep where you are really putting on the muscle. The lighter stages of sleep that you get after those deeper stages also restore things like your memory and your cognitive abilities and consolidate memories and learning. So if we can do that, we're probably going to feel and achieve things that we have to do in the day in a lot shorter of a time, which again makes time for you so that you have enough time to make your meals, to go to the gym and do everything right. All of these things interplay with each other, and you can't get rid of just one of them. Perform your best and you will live a better life. That leads to the third thing, is challenging training. If you are not challenging yourself when you go into the gym, then you're not going to be seeing growth. And that doesn't just mean go in there, pick up some weights that's heavy, and rep them out for as many as you can. It needs to be structured. You need to periodize it over time, and you need to incorporate what we call progressive overload, which is what is going to push your body forward. That's adding weight, adding sets, adding reps, or doing the same sets, reps, and weight with better form, right? All of these can be considered progressive overload, but you have to continuously challenge yourself. Typically, this accounts to 5% increases, whether that's in reps, sets, or weight over time for your upper body, 10% for your lower body. If you incorporate progressive overload, things will get harder over time, and you may need a little bit of additional rest in which you can come back, and instead of starting where you started before, you can start a little bit higher, and then you can kind of work your way through that progression, and over time, you will get stronger, you will get bigger. Right? Things will go wrong in this process, so I want you to be patient. There are many years where I got injured, and the reason it took me 5 years to put on 40 pounds of muscle was, number one, all of these lessons I learned, I didn't learn them in a YouTube video like this. There were plenty of YouTube videos that told me a lot of things that didn't really matter. The other part of that was that I incurred injuries. There were times where I was less motivated, had less time, where I was less focused on building muscle. So have patience. Life will get in the way, but you can make it through. Just keep on the path, and you will eventually figure all these things out and how they interplay. And then you will be performing your best, not only in the gym where you're building muscle, but also in life, which is arguably very fun. That being said, if you are like me and you're super interested in putting on lean muscle mass and performing your best, then check out this video I made because I think you're going to love it, brother. See you there.